My 2-year-old son came up to me the other day. I went back home to the UK, and he said, "Daddy, I'm going to have a baby." And I said, "Zach, you can't have a baby because you're a boy. You're a man. You can't have babies." And he said, "Well, I'm going to be a girl. I want to be a girl." What would you have said to him if you were me?
Well, I wouldn't have said, "Zach, you're a boy and boys can't have babies," because that.
But they can't. It's like there's two types of people in the world. One can get pregnant and the other can't. So the one that couldn't get pregnant was labeled girls, and the one that can't was labeled boys. Changing the label around doesn't change the fundamental reality.
It's absolutely not true. So, I mean, I don't know what your parenting is like.
And you don't think think boys can have babies?
You mean males?
Yes.
Yes.
You think you think males can have babies?
Yes.
Right.
I mean, do you want me to explain?
Yes, please. Yeah.
So transgender males.
Why do they call them transgender then? Wouldn't they just be males? What's the point of having the names or labels if you're not going to actually follow them?
Have a womb, a uterus, and ovaries. Okay, so they were born, if you like, female, but they actually identify as males, so we refer to them as males.
Just because you identify as something does not mean you are actually that thing. Like, I can say I identify as an Apache helicopter. That doesn't mean I'm gonna start flying and shooting people down. Or I can say I identify as Superman. That doesn't mean when I jump off a building I'm gonna start flying. No, I'm gonna fucking fall to my death.
They have ovaries, a womb, a uterus, a vagina, and that means you can carry a baby.
So all the things that define a female, okay.
Transgender males being women.
Well, that's extremely disrespectful to transgender males. I don't.
Well, they are women, aren't they? They're biological women.
They are.
I'm so sick of this delusion that a few insane amount of people are forcing down everyone's throats.
Males.
Well, if they're males...
What do you mean by biological women?
Oh, hang on a minute. If they're males, why do you...
Hang on. Did you see that smirk? Like, what the hell was that?
What do you mean by biological women?
Oh, hang on.
She thinks she got him with that stupid-ass question. Like, what?
If they're males, why do you call them transgender males? Why put transgender in the...
Transgender is an adjective.
Right, but if they just call them males then, why do you call them transgender males?
No problem at all.
So you're changing that now?
No, I'm not changing that. You said, can males have babies? And I said, yes, males can have babies.
Well, all over your website, you refer to transgender women, transgender males. If these people are genuinely male and female, why do you call them transgender?
Well, why do we use adjectives for anything? If you're...
Okay, here's an adjective for you. Stupid.
If you're clarifying, if you're teaching somebody like I'm teaching you now, you...
The fucking smugness like I'm teaching you now? It's because these people think they're all better than you. They think the more woke they are, the more empathetic they are, that makes them better than people that actually learn reality.
You need to clarify, and there you go.
So instead of... So this is interesting. So instead of telling my 2-year-old son, as I did, Zach, you can't have kids, you're a boy.
I think that's sad.
You think that's sad?
I do. I think, you know, if my son...
Do you know what it did? Do you know what it did? He said, "Oh, okay, Daddy, that's fine." And the next day he said, "Daddy, I'm Spider-Man." Would you want me to entertain that conversation and say, "Well, Zach, maybe you are
What do you say?
Spider-Man"?
Oh, God, no, not Spider-Man. Oh, God, Zach, you can't be a girl. God, Zach, you can't be Spider-Man. Or can't we just let children explore? 2 is an amazing age to explore. Why aren't we letting our children explore? I actually feel sorry for Zach right now.
Oh, well, sorry. Okay, well, I don't, because Zach has never mentioned becoming a girl again.
I'm so tired of this. I'm going to identify as a millionaire, so where do I pick up my check? What is she on about? The world is mad.
Do you think Trump's a fascist?
Yeah.
Hold up. What's with the outfit? Hang on. There's no such thing as illegal aliens, and she's dressed up as an alien? That's kind of funny.
Absolutely.
How so, or why?
Well, he's taking plays right out of Hitler's playbook, so, yeah.
If he was a fascist, though, could you do this today and protest, you think?
Sorry?
If he was a fascist, wouldn't he shut down this protest? Like, how could you guys even do this if he was a fascist?
Have a good day.
Have a good day. It's funny how if you ask them one question or to ask them to explain their logic, they never really have a good answer. They will insult you, they will call you racist, they will call you fascist, they will call you Nazi. But if they were actually Nazis, fascists, or bigots, then the people out there protesting wouldn't even be able to go outside and protest. Also, as this comment says, you would think that they would have a comeback since this question was asked about 1,000,000 times. But no, never a real answer. I am wrong, so I end the debate.
Trump's the fascist dictator, and how so?
Are you kidding me? He's taking away all of our rights. Freedom of speech, freedom to protest. He's disappearing people off the streets in America.
Is he gonna come? You guys are protesting right now. Is he gonna come sweep this up, you think?
He could.
The irony. If he was really taking away your rights, you wouldn't even be able to protest. Like, just look at what's happening in Iran. The people that are protesting are actually paying a high price for it.
It looks like you have the freedom to protest right now today.
Well, for right now, I do. Knock on wood.
This was a fascist dictatorship. Do you think this could happen?
Have you seen the news headlines about people disappearing off the streets?
So she's obviously referring to the ICE raids, where illegal immigrants are being deported. It's not like he's going around picking up random people just to like chuck them out of the country.
Kidnapped?
Being arrested by ICE?
No, kidnapped. Arrest is when you have due process.
So one very sneaky thing that people on the left usually do is that they hijack the language that people use around certain topics. Like for example, instead of calling it murder, they call it an abortion. And instead of calling it a human life, they call it a fetus. They change the words to misdirect what's happening in reality.
They're kidnapped.
People who came to this country illegally have a different level of due process than American citizens do. So like Obama, for instance, arrested 3 million people with ICE and deported them, right?
No.
It's so funny that when you bring up Obama deporting people, they don't even bat an eye. Like it's fine if they do it, but if Trump does it, then it's wrong. Even though that's why a lot of people voted him in power.
You did. Okay, last question for you. It's the middle of the day on a Wednesday today. Do you guys have jobs?
It's none of your business.
I'm just curious because it's a work day, right?
Yes.
Is this your job?
No.
No?
I took a day off work so that I could do this.
But there's protests happening every single day in America. So does she take a day off work every single day? Also, is she wearing like a frog hoodie? Like what's up with that?
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much.
And the top comment with 23.3k likes is whatever this is.
Can we ask you, do we think we have the right to enforce immigration law in this country?
I think you have the right to take your pencil dick and go off somewhere over there.
Just answer the question. They say insults, they call you names, but they never say why you're wrong. Or they never answer the question in a way that makes logical sense.
Another very articulate answer. Thank you. Excuse me. Could we ask you, why do you think ICE isn't allowed to enforce immigration law in the city?
Well, I think they're arresting people who are native to this land. You know, the U.S.
In what way native?
Native, as in, you know, if they're arresting Latino people, they've been here way longer than white people have. So why are they arresting?
Not if they came from Latin America recently, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're part of this land.
By that logic, isn't anybody that goes there part of that land? This type of logic might have worked back in the days before countries, but now that there's countries, they control the land. They enforce their laws on the land, so you have to follow them. And it's not a pretty bad deal, by the way, since this system has created the most amount of wealth for the entire history of the planet. Wait, he's an agitator? He's just asking questions.
We're just talking to people. So, do you think ICE has the right to enforce immigration law in New York City?
Does ICE have the right to take people? Is that your question?
To enforce immigration law in the city?
ICE does not. No.
Why not?
It's 2025, why are they wearing masks? Dude, what a scam COVID was. Literally nobody gives a shit about that now. Literally asking the most basic question about our laws and they're upset. Calling him an agitator while they literally agitate tension higher and higher everywhere they go. That is kind of ironic, isn't it? They're always protesting, they're always breaking stuff, they're always fighting against law enforcement, and they call the other people agitators.
A newsflash, if you call someone by they them pronouns when you know that they do not go by they them pronouns, you are misgendering them.
Okay, one thing I never got about pronouns is why do they have they/them, but not we/us? Like, doesn't that also make sense? But I guess it just kind of sounds stupid, so they don't use that.
A lot of people on this account will call me they them in the comments, which is whatever, I guess. And most of them I assume that they don't go to my profile and check my pronouns, which...
Why would people go out of their way to check someone's pronouns? Like that's not a normal thing to do. You just look at the video and you comment. You don't go to the person's profile, then you comment. It's just adding an extra step.
It's fine if you don't know someone's pronouns, then obviously they them is the best course of action.
According to who? Why should I live my life according to what you think is the best action?
But I got a comment the other day referencing my bio and they used they them pronouns. So I'm like, okay, so you saw my bio, meaning you saw my pronouns, meaning you called me they them anyways, which is just kind of disrespectful to me. I used she her pronouns, I'm a woman.
No, you're not. Also, isn't they them meant to be neutral so you can use it for either person?
And just because you don't think that it's disrespectful or misgendering doesn't mean that it's not. And for someone who's trans, I'm not trans, but for someone who is trans, that could be very dysphoria-inducing.
So something I think people have forgotten is that your delusion is not somebody else's responsibility. Or just because you feel bad about something doesn't mean that other people are obliged to play within your reality.